Hello and welcome back for more of this solo playthrough of The Other Side of the Hill. We are in summer of 1943, and so we got to go through the administrative phase. And this time, bombing of Germany, we still are at -1 here, so we're gonna have to reduce a resource, which I think is going to come from my strategic warfare replacements because I can afford that. So then we will move on to actually doing the German replacements. And I've got 3 Wehrmacht replacements. So let's think about where I want to place those. I'm thinking that there's an invasion of Italy and or Greece coming up either in the summer or the fall, depending on a bit of the breaks. So it might behoove me to get another army here. That would allow me to put an AG head down. And of course, the situation in Russia continues to be a little bit worrisome. So I should probably do a little bit of things to shore that up if I can. Excuse me. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a white German army here. Watch now, I'll actually get that guy will come in. But I can place him here and do some shuffling if I have to. So that's 1 Wehrmacht replacement. I think I need to shore this area up. That is looking very, very, very dicey with the 2 satellite armies. So I think what I'm going to do, let's see. I think what I'm going to do is actually place a white army here and then a gray army here. The intention will be to move one of these satellite armies out next turn to there and move that white army in so that I've got a little bit better defense going on there. And let's see. Okay, so that's all of that. Now, air replacements. Let's see if we can keep that sort of settled. I feel like I could probably use a little bit of air naval control here in case there's combat. In fact, I feel like I could use enough that I don't end up down here because then the Western Allies will start pummeling me with an extra die. So we'll put both of those there, and of course we'll take that strategic warfare replacement. Now we're getting satellite replacements, so we'll see if we get this Italian replacement finally. Nope. Nope. And now we're going to adjust the production table. Again, we've got 14. So let me just figure out if there's any military, political, or production directive stuff I want to do, and then I'll come back to this. Okay. We'll talk about why this is the way it is in a second. But we've got all of our replacements at 3. I've got 1 for military directives because I don't have any plans to do a military directive this turn. Political directives is at 2, and production directives is at 1. So let us go through the production directive. So the production directive, I am again with a tremendously oogie feeling going to be playing forced labor. Uncomfortable feeling. So unrest goes down by 1, and I can move 1 replacement marker 1 box to the right. Actually, now that I think about it, that's not even, there's really no point to that because they're already at 3. So I'm not even going to do that this turn. I'm just going to waste the production directive. Because I maybe some other turn I might need that. Like if the Axis takes this, for example. Okay, so that's production directive. Now, political directive, I actually am playing something. I'm going to play the Waffen SS. So, fanaticism up by 1, unrest up by 1. So, fanaticism can't go any further, but unrest can. And for this, I replace 1 regular army with a panzer army. If if there is one available in the force pool. So I'm going to reinforce. Where am I going to reinforce? I think I'm going to reinforce here because I feel like this area is just so ripe right now to like collapse. So we're going to get a Panzer army into this area. And plus, if I do have to take a retreat, I'll be fighting in planes, and the tanks will come in more handy. So we'll do that with that. And then military directive. Right, military directive. I don't have anything, so I'm not doing anything with my military directive. So that is the end of the administrative phase. Now we move on to strategic warfare. Okay, so let us see what the Allies are doing. 1943, they're going to roll 4 dice for strategic warfare. So let's get the Soviet dice out of the way. And I'm rolling 3 dice, and only one of them is going to be gray. All right, so this is what is getting rolled for strategic warfare, and strategic warfare is starting to turn against me. Oh, that's not too bad, I guess. That's not too bad. Okay, so first things first, we got to resolve a strategic event. So let's deal with that. Strategic event. Ploesti bombed. Roll 2 Western dice. If at least one air result is rolled, move a replacement marker 1 box to the left in the production table. All right. So I'll roll these 2 because I've already dealt with that event. So no plane, so that helps a little bit. So now I've got 2 hits, and I'm pretty sure that's 3 hits for him. 1 hit for that, 1 hit for that. Okay, so yeah, so he's got 3 hits. So my Western hits greater, Germany box, air naval between the strategic warfare and the, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually distribute that one here into that strategic warfare box. All right. I guess that could have been worse. That could have been a lot worse with him rolling 4 dice. Now we are going to do movement. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this down to here and this up to here. We're going to basically just shuffle those 2 around. And I don't think I'm going to be moving anywhere else. As everything else is I think in a decent position, or at least where I want it to be, given the situation. Okay. Air movement. I'm not going to move any air forces around. I kind of need, this one probably I could afford to move, but I'm going to leave it just in case right now. And I definitely don't want to move that. So we're not going to move any air. So command, I think I only have I have 2 generals who are being questioned. Bush is being questioned, and Kesselring is being questioned. So let's see, where's Bush? Did I forget? I forgot to turn him. Is he in here? No, where is Bush? 1 second. All right, I'm an idiot. He's on the board. All right, so we've got Kesselring, and he is a 6. So basically, on a roll of a 6, Kesselring is going to be removed, and on a 5 or a 6, Bush is going to be removed. So Kesselring is this teal die over here. So neither of them is going to be removed, luckily. I think both of them I want to kind of keep in place, especially Kesselring. I definitely want to keep Kesselring in place. So that means I don't have to do any adjustments. So now the Axis offensive, but I don't actually have anything. Now the Western offensive. So we're going to turn a card and see if we get a landing in 1943 season fall. So they're not going to do a landing this turn. So that gives me yet another turn to prepare for the invasion of Italy. Okay. So now we are going to go on to, oh no, no, now that we do the Western, well, no, actually we don't do the Western offensive because we don't have any place to put a pawn. There's no place where we have sort of conflict. Every place is, or disputed, so every place. So the Western offensive is simply not going to happen this turn. So that moves us on to the Soviet offensive. So we're going to put pawns here, 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 and here. Okay. And now we're going to go from top to bottom. So we'll draw, this is the last card here. So 1943, they're going to be doing 4 dice up here. Ooh, that's not a great one. So as of right now, the Soviets have 4 dice, and I have 3 dice because I get 1 extra white die because we are defending in a rough terrain. Now, let's see. Von Kukler is my general there. I think this is him here. Yeah. Cancels the special effect, so that doesn't actually happen. So let me find a leading general for this and be right back. All right, so we're going to go with Joachim Lemelson, who is going to give us the ability to roll 1 gray die instead of 1 white die. So we're going to substitute one of these for one of those, and we are going to go with that, and we're going to see how this goes. So let us roll. 2 events, 3 events. Ugh, that is not a particularly good result for me. Well, it's actually not as bad as all that. Okay, so we're going to deal with the combat events first. And so we're going to be drawing 2 combat events. We rolled 3, but the maximum you can ever draw is 2. So, Peenemunde. Says right, yeah, Peenemunde Bond. If there are no project markers in the project track, there is one. Roll 2 Western die. If at least one of that moves it. Okay, well, that's not too bad for me because if you'll remember the project that I put in here, V weapons, its only effect is to give me prestige, which doesn't count in the solo player game. So I'm going to move that one to the left, and I'm not going to care about it. And then we're going to draw a second combat card. Recall to active duty. The player who has rolled the event, may choose 1 general previously removed from play and add him to the generals entering play during the following year. 6 or lower, and he may not have a misfortune roll. I got to look something up really quickly. Okay, what I was looking up, but unfortunately the rules are kind of silent on this, is, like in this case, which of these do you resolve? Because this card actually has a condition that says the player who's rolled the event result may choose 1 general previously removed from play and add him to the generals. But the problem is I'm only resolving 2 of these. So am I resolving? Sorry, little chaos from the dogs. So am I resolving a German roll or a Soviet roll? It's silent on this. So my guess is that you sort of resolve your own first, but I don't really know. So, but I'm going to recall. I'm going to take it as an opportunity to recall Erwin Rommel to the game, which actually, let me think about this. In fact, I can't actually do him. In fact, because he has a misfortune event, and so I can't actually do him. All right, well, he is the only one who has been removed at this point, so I'm kind of spared having to figure this out because I can't actually bring anybody back anyway. Okay. So that is that. So now we resolve the rest of this, and essentially, I think we're going to have a 2-2 tie here, because the first hit for the allies is going to reduce that. So that is that result. And then here we're going to have 2 to 2 because I have assault guns. Sorry, that's over here. I have assault guns. And I'm the defender, and the assault guns project has been completed. So it's a tie. So, and then if the X is tie, the activated applies 1 reduction or 1 retreat. If retreat is applied, so yes, I think I'm going to apply a reduction is what I'm going to do. All right, so that takes care of that area of the board. Okay, now we move on to Belarus. And shuffle that because we run out. All right. They're rolling 4 dice again here. This is not the area I wanted to be rolling 4 dice. So they've still got these 4 dice. I have, pretty sure it's that. Let me just double check. Yep, it's kind of one of each color. German rainbow, if you will. Okay. So, all right. Sorry about that. It's continued dog chaos over here. All right. So we have our dice to begin with here. So we got to look at Von Kluge and see what he brings to the party here. Where are you? There you are. It's not going to work. Thank you. That didn't work either. Come on. So cancel the special effect of the combat card. That is not actually a thing happening. So let me find a leading general and we'll come right back. All right, so we're going to use Friedrich Paulus, which is going to add 1 hit to my roll. So with that, we have figured out our general situation and we're rolling the dice. Oh, thank you. Italians. Oh, holy cow. That is... So the Russians have 4. We're in a river, so they don't get anything extra for that. We get 5. So we are actually going to win this combat. Actually, we get 6 because we added 1 to that. So no retreat or reduction. Leading general would get 1 prestige if we were playing that way, but we aren't. So that mercifully stabilizes that. So now we are looking at the Don Volga area. They get a special, they get a reduction and 3 dice. And to start with, we have 2 gray and a white die. So this is kind of what the situation initially looks like. Now let's look at Bush and see what he does to the situation. Mr. Bush. Roll 1 gray die. If the result is a hit, cancel the special effect in the combat card. Okay. So we're going to roll this gray die and find out if we're going to have to deal with that reduction. We still are going to have to deal with that reduction. So now I'm going to go find a leading general. Okay. So we are going with Georg Lindemann because he's going to allow me to change 1 blank result on a white die for a hit. And that's going to be important because I had no way to cancel that special effect. So I have to take a reduction before any of this happens. So now I'm actually rolling 2 white dice instead of 2 gray dice. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we take another air hit for that, and then we actually have a 3 to 2 win. It's in a river, so we are not the tank doesn't count as 2, so it's another win for us. We actually are continuing to hold off the Soviets' attempt to push us backwards. So our last Soviet offensive is in the Caucasus, and that is a reduction and 4 white dice. This could be interesting. Von Manstein, what does he do? I'm hoping that he will cancel that reduction, but I don't remember what he does. The controlling player may change the result of anyone die in the Axis rally combat for the result of his. He's not in OB Ost. So we are going to suffer a reduction before this happens because I know I have no leading generals who can stop it. So we'll go ahead and apply that now. So we're rolling these dice and he's rolling those dice. So let me go figure out what I'm going to do here. All right. We are going to be using Rudolf Schmidt, who is going to cancel one hit in the Allied combat roll. And I've added a white die here because we are defending in rough terrain. So we actually are rolling a extra white die. So here we go. Stay there. Ooh, oh boy. Well, I get to cancel one of these. Both of these air are going to count as hits because I am down here on the 1 column. But still, that's going to be 3 to 5 with some spectacular rolling. Wow, that's a really spectacular rolling turn for the Germans there. And everything there stays as is. So that is the end of the Soviet offensive. I had no military directive. There isn't any supply to check at this point. I mean, these are all, I think these are all okay for the Allies. Again, I don't think that I roll for those. I think that's what I got to last time. And then victory check. So now we loop back around and we've got to do another operations phase in the summer. Not that I want to. So let's start with strategic warfare. And the Allies will be rolling 3 dice, and I will be rolling 2 dice. So, as you get later in the game when you're on the defensive, summers start to suck. But I suppose that's by design. All right, that is just a hit. So, oh no. There we go. So that air thing reduces that by 1, and then he's got 2 hits. I've got 1 hit. I'm gonna take that from here because I know I've got replacements to play with over here. So we're gonna allow that to go down by 1. Actually, now that I think about it, I can just do that because I've got 3 replacements here. So we're gonna do that. That way I don't have to spend an air replacement to fix that. Now that I think about that. Okay. That is the strategic warfare. Now movement. I don't think I'm going to do any movement because really nothing changed on my fronts last turn. Command, nobody got questioned that turn. Axis offensive isn't going to happen, so we're back Western offensive. So now we're checking to see if there's going to be a landing in the summer of 1944. Yes, 1943. So there is going to be a landing. So the priority is 18. Which would be, oh, that's Britain, but that's not gonna, 18, 23, 26, 28. 18 is Britain, 23 is southern Italy. So they are going to be landing in southern Italy. All right, I'm gonna pull open the rules here just to remind myself how landings go. To make sure that I get this right. 1 second while I just find that area of the rules here. Okay. If a landing is allowed in the area, let's see. If a landing is not allowed in that area, check the next area in the card in priority. Okay. So there's definitely a landing allowed here. If it is a home area belonging to a neutral country, activate that country as an Axis satellite. They're already a satellite, so I don't have to do that. If only one sector in the area has a landing threat symbol, place a Western control disk in it. If more than one sector has a landing threat, that operates first. Okay. So unlike Northern Africa, I am placing a control disk in Messina, and then I am moving my own disk back to Naples. Okay. It wasn't placed there. So we're placing a oops. Gotta place a disputed marker here. So that is disputed now. So we're going to move this landing to here. And then place a no western offensives marker here. Because they're not going to do anything there this turn. All right, I think we've got that. Well, so the Allies have landed in Italy as expected. Okay. That is the Western offensive phase because they're not gonna place a pawn and do an offensive there. So now we do the Soviet offensives. So let's put their pawns back. And we'll begin resolving these again one by one. Ooh, boy, oh boy. These are thin in the Soviet Union right now. 1940. What was I doing? Oh, sorry. That was obviously for the top one. Oh my goodness. I just realized that the entire time last time I was looking at I can't go back at this point. Every time last time, I actually looked at the defense column, not the attack column. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to move on from that because going back would be chaos at this point. I would take too much. So this is a strategic event. I probably would have benefited from that, but Italy surrenders. Whoa. Okay. Oh my God. They just like a landing in Messina and they just gave up. All right. Because basically, so the status of Italy is not occupation. Both areas 22 and 23 are no longer controlled by the Axis. So I got to apply the occupation of Italy. So let me look at what that is, what that looks like. Eliminate all satellite armies. Oh, shoot. I needed to put an AG head there. I need to take care of that. Okay, let me put an AG head there before I go too much further here. So let's keep it simple, and we're going to put Heinrich von Wittgenhof there because he's good in defense in rough terrain. So let's find him. And he is our AG there. All right, my bad. Let's go back. Eliminate all satellite armies in 22 and 23. So we eliminate that satellite army. Flip their satellites to their occupied side. 22 and 23. Oh, that's Greece, sorry. 22 and 23. Okay. Areas 26, 27, 28. I'm not in there. And then I'm going to eliminate that. Okay. Remove the status of Italy marker from play. I don't even know where that is. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just remember that Italy is now occupied. All right, well, my Italian, my brave Italian sort of cousins just gave up. All right, well, that's that. Basically, that offensive doesn't do anything up there, but it does collapse Italy. Now, checking the attack column, 1943. I get 3 dice, and I'm drawing a strategic event. So let's pull these 3 dice over here, and we'll draw a strategic event. I guess Italy was going to surrender this turn anyway. I guess it didn't really matter. 19th Ultra. Roll 1 Western die. Okay, gotta remember what that means. So we're gonna roll that die. So that's a hit. So I think strategic warfare goes down by 1. Okay. Any other result is no effect, then put it back. Then I gotta remember what that symbol does. What does that symbol mean? 1 second. Sorry, it's been a little while since I've played, and I find that icon hard to read. So what that means is I actually place it in next year's events. This one probably comes out of the game now that I think about it, because like Italy can't really surrender more than once. 1 second. Okay. Actually, it does go into the pile. I think it's there. It's now there as a dead card, so it's kind of there to help me. At any rate, okay. So we have done that. Where the heck was I? 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So I've resolved the special event for strategic event for this combat. So now I'm rolling 3 dice, or I'm sorry, the Soviets are rolling 3 dice, and I am once again rolling a rainbow of dice. Von Kluge, I don't think he's going to do anything here, but let's just double check to confirm that. Cancel the special effect. No, there's no reduction effect. So I gotta find a leading general here for this one. Okay. Gotthard Heinrici. Sorry about that pronunciation. I get to re-roll up to 2 dice, and then I can choose the original result or the new result. So I figure that's pretty good with 4 dice getting rolled. Okay, and let me just double check. Okay, yeah, he can for anything. So now we are rolling. Okay, I'm probably going to be pretty happy about that. So he's got 3 hits. I've currently got 3 as well, because again, defense, that artillery really helps. Let's see if we can get an extra hit with this. No! So it's a tie result. So I've got to take either a reduction or a retreat, and I will take the reduction at this point, so no one ends up questioned. All right, now we are on to the Don Volga area. So another strategic event. Wow. Vichy is not a satellite or a neutral country. So Vichy is a satellite. Vichy's basically the invasion of Italy has triggered complete catastrophe amongst my allies. My satellites, let's say. All right. Where is Vichy surrender? So France collapses with fall. Okay, so the status of France becomes FFL. If there's a satellite alignment marker in 21 or 26, flip it to its occupied side. 26, no. The head of operations must move 1 German army from any area to area 21. German army. I guess that's going to be this guy. Whew. remove the status of France marker from play. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Okay, well, I found these at this point, so I can remove both of these from play. So now I know where those are. Now I know where those live. Okay, so basically the Allies landed in Messina, and both Italy and Vichy completely gave up. Thanks. Okay. That was, I believe, let's see. Let me go back to this card to see. Yeah, that was that one. So the last thing we have to resolve is the Caucasus. Oof, 4 dice in the Caucasus. So they are putting all of their efforts into an offensive in the Caucasus, where I am rolling 1 gray and 2 white dice. Okay, and I've got von Manstein there. If I recall correctly, he can be helpful. Any one die, okay. Okay, so I can change the result of any one die to a result of my choice. I sense an assault gun coming up. And let's find ourselves a leading general. All right, we have Hans von Salmuth. I can subtract 1 hit from their roll. So we're rolling here. All right, yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to have 2 events happen. But I am going to use... So we're going to subtract 1 hit from them. So we'll just move that out of play. And then we're going to may change the result of any one die in the Axis or Allied combat roll for a die of their choice. So 1... So there, we're going to change that to that. Okay. So again, we've got 3 strategic event or combat events. Let's see if it matters which ones I choose. Hitler. So okay. So odds are that is going to be the situation, but we're going to put that aside for right now. Woo! All right, so we get to roll an allied die, and if it's a tank or a plane, I add 1 hit, so that hit comes back. All right, from that Lend-Lease to the USSR, and then I put it in the pile that's coming back next year. So that one, I think, is going to go on the bottom of that pile. Okay, so that is the 2 combat events dealt with, and so we've got a 3-3. We've got a tie. So once again, I'm going to take the reduction instead of the retreat. Oh, yeah. Combat's result is not victory. So we are dismissing von Manstein. So Hitler dismisses probably one of our better generals. And unfortunately, he's now out of the game. All right. Okay, so we've got a vacancy there that we will need to deal with next turn. So that is the end of the Soviet offensives. Boy, oh boy, look at that. That is just looking ugly. No military objective, no supply check, right? That, yeah, they don't need to roll for supply there. Not gonna lose the game automatically. So with that, it will loop around, and we will be in the fall, the administrative of the fall of 1943 with the next turn. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would be great if you could leave a like. Definitely leave comments if I did things wrong, other than reading the wrong column in the Soviet card for the entire first operations phase of summer. Sorry about that. If you're enjoying this series, if you like what we do here on the channel, it'd be great if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you find out when we produce new content. But with that, I will say goodbye, and we will see you next time on Agility Snips Gaming Table.